Well guys, Rusty's features are really starting to come together. I'll be transparent with you. The past couple days I've been working on little doodad stuff here and there, and I didn't film any of it. It's time consuming, and I just felt silly filming some of that stuff because most of the time I'd have to stand there and think about it before I did the install or whatever the case may be. But bombed out a whole bunch of stuff over the past couple days. Let me see if I can get you caught up. I probably won't remember everything, so if you see something that I don't mention, leave me a comment down below and I'll try to respond to it. I went through the interior of the cab here and I put up I had a rock light kit that I got off Amazon, and I'm going to use that for interior lighting. So the passenger or storage or whatever area you want to call this, I got that set up with some of the lights, and then the front cab will have a separate switch too for these two guys here. I figured those were good positions to put them in, so I did that. The heater system. Okay, so I may have to change this around. I surely hope not, because everything fits like perfect. And I think I'll probably just leave it regardless. But front heater, 14,000 BTU red dot. And then remember Mr. Maridine here from previous episodes. I've used him for a bunch of different things. And this will be his final resting place. But that's I think it's a 9,000 BTU Maridine. So that should provide plenty of heat. What else can I tell you? Oh, solar. So we got the solar charge controller sitting here. This was something I got off Amazon for, I think it was free because it came in a delivery. I don't even remember the story behind it, but I've had it sitting on a shelf for about a year now. So I'm hoping I'll be able to put that to good use. I've got a couple holes punched here for some switches that are coming in. So one of the switches will be for the rock lights back here, the interior lighting, and the other switch will be for the reverse lights, which will also act as to light up the back of the area behind the snowcat. If for whatever reason, if for some magical reason we camp inside here and we need to get out in the middle of the night, that will be a switch to turn on the lights out there. It's kind of like a patio light, I guess you could say. Okay, so this episode is kind of sponsored by somebody, and some of you may know him, but he sent me this kit right here. This is a remote switch kit, and it's got a little panel that goes with it that I mounted there with a bunch of circuits in it. And so he sent this to me, and this is from Steve LeClaire of Tracks Off Grid. I'm going to leave all of his information in the comment section or the description down below. But if you're looking for a guy that has a company that builds these overland trucks, he actually builds the boxes and everything for them, hit him up, because this is kind of what he does for a living. And he does really, really, really good work. So the switches for today in this episode that I mounted right here. Come on, camera. I'm getting tired of adjusting the light on this thing. So he provided those, and they should work out really well. I really like this control position here. This switch here is a high-low switch for the red dot heater, and then we've got wiper switch. I didn't get the wipers installed today. I will do that at a later date. Horse trailer vents and Sikaflex 221. We got those mounted. Once the Sikaflex dries in 24 hours, I go through with the razor blade and just cut off all the excess. You won't see any of it. So yeah, those little doodads sticking down won't be there for long. But once you put Sikaflex 221 on something, you can forget about taking it off the vehicle. It's a wrestling match from hell. Got the solar panel mounted up here, and I used a fitting and dropped the wires through, And we'll get all this stuff hooked up when I start working on the wiring. What else have I done? Oh, headlights. Got the headlights done. Got the, this will be a running light and this will be a strobe. So we got all those installed. I started running the transmission harnesses and everything back. I have to put some cable supports down the tunnel to get those all the way back to where they go. I've got the transmission ECU mounted here. This is a little resistor that goes along with it. And then I punched holes in the firewall there and dragged my wiring across here and then back into the driver's side. And so everything I need to control the transmission is pinned out right here for me. So I've got that set up. The start inhibitor is got all the wires sticking out here. I still have to pin all this stuff out and figure out what makes it pull on that cable or release that cable to start the vehicle. So I'll have to deal with that when the wiring comes along. Wow, that's a lot of stuff that I've covered. I reinstalled all the handles. I got all the tail lights installed. So starting at the top here, that's strobe. If I remember right, this is backup light and this is running light. Or reverse, vice versa. I can't remember now. I guess I'll figure out when I turn it on. I think these are the... Yeah, these are the parking or the running lights or whatever. And I went back through here to my slave cable assembly and used some aircraft sealant to go through all the fittings and just to make them, you know, it's aviation forma gasket. I use those on threads all the time. After 24 hours, it usually seals up pretty good and it's resistant to all fluids, chemicals and whatnot. Got the boxes kind of mocked up in there. I didn't bolt them in yet. They'll eventually get a bead of Sikaflex around them from where the door opens. This one went in pretty easy. This one was a wrestling match and I had to do a little bit of grinding around the edge to get it in because remember I tweaked that side at some point when I was welding and so it was off by like 1/4 of an inch. I'm running all of my electrical circuitry here because everything will be, except for the batteries that come up to here, everything will be run above in the rails there, and I'll show you how I do that with some saddle straps and some strut nuts and all that stuff. I'll show you guys how I'm going to do that. I'm going to go through all the seams too and Sikaflex those, and I've got some other products coming in for the ceiling and you'll see that in an upcoming episode. It's a new product I'm going to try out and see if it works. You may remember from the LMTV series, I tried a product that just fell apart and fell down when I used it, and I'm trying to avoid that, so I bought just one roll of it to see if it works. If not, it's going right back to Amazon. But yeah, we're just cooking along. That's a lot. Oh, got the window locking gasket is in. So I got those in, but I don't think I'm going to put the windows in until I'm done because I think if I have to do any more welding or something, it might tweak the stainless and then crack the windows, and I don't want that to happen. So that will be in an upcoming episode, probably closer to the end. So basically what I got left is wiring because I'm getting all the components in now. So now I got to start mapping out where all the wiring is going to go, switches, and then I get to start building the doors, and then it's tracks. So I mean, I really don't have that much left, and I've been extra motivated to try and get as much of this done as I can right now while I have the time off. But I think pretty certain that Rusty will be ready for the winter, and I'll be able to work out his quirks before I take him out in the snow when we do some trial runs and whatnot. So I'm really excited. Wow, that was a long outro, but I'm hoping you guys appreciate it. So if you guys like this episode, Give me a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed yet, I'd love to have you as a subscriber. Man, we're cooking right along with this snowcat build, and I'm really excited to show you guys the finished product. And I'm super excited to test out Rusty when we get moving along here, and he's ready to be driven. So, but as always, guys, stay safe, take care, and I'll catch you next time. See you later. Bye-bye.